Well, hey there, guys. It's Vampire Preacher.
Yatta!
How you doing today? So, today we've got a special review, as my Marvel Legends haven't come in yet, still. That's super cool. Thanks, Hasbro. Even though they were supposed to be in last month, I've been as patient as I can be, but at this point, I'm done being patient. I'm done. I'm done trying to be patient for a company that doesn't give a shit. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, we've got a Marvel Legends unboxing next week. I hope. However, this week, we have a very special unboxing. This week, we've got Scoob! That's right, man. We've got Scoob coming at you live.
Oh, it's about to start. You ready?
Ready.
Popcorn?
Butter.
Nachos?
Cheese.
Now, I am a big fan of Scooby-Doo. Have been since I was a little kid. I watched the old series. I watched a pup named Scooby-Doo. And when the new movie was announced, I was skeptical. At best. At best, I was very, very skeptical. Before we get to that, we've got figures! Because yes, there are figures based on the new movie, so why not look at them? And honestly, the first one that caught my attention was this set here. That's not Scooby-Doo, and that's not Shaggy Rogers. No, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Blue Falcon and Muttley. Now, this caught my attention because I love Blue Falcon. And I love Dick Dastardly and Muttley. We're going to get to the genius behind their marketing of these later on, too. But, for right now, let's get into what we've got here. So, it's what you see is what you get. We've got Blue Falcon, we've got Muttley, we've got our front, which is on a card back. You can see all around it. Our little Scoob there, along with Scooby and Shaggy. The Blue Falcon and Muttley down there. The other figures, which we do not have all 4 sets. We only have 3 of the 4. I did not get Captain Caveman and regular Scooby-Doo. Mostly because I already have a regular Scooby figure, and I've got the Super Scooby figure that came with Dick Dastardly here, and I was not that impressed with Captain Caveman. We also have the majority of the cast of the movie over here. And there we are. Inside the packaging, once again, what you see is what you get. It's a 2-pack of figures. In this case, Muttley and Blue Falcon. Who apparently also had a little bit here for his legs. The packaging itself isn't all that much to look at. The backing has the Scooby-Doo logo, along with silhouettes of Blue Falcon, Dee Dee, Dynomutt, and the Mystery Machine, respectively. As for the figures themselves, let's start off with the thing that really made me get this, Muttley, because I love me some Muttley. So, for Muttley, he is very basic articulation. He has arm articulation, no elbows. He has his head, which is just on a swivel, and his feet, which are also on swivels. And that's it. That's all of Muttley's articulation right there. As for the heights of all of our characters, we of course have our series favorite here. So, on our T-square, Muttley is coming in at if I can get him lined up properly here, just under 3 inches tall. Which seems appropriate for Dick Dastardly's good boy. All in all, he's a very basic figure, but he's Muttley. How can you not love him? Our next figure, part of that same 2-pack, is Blue Falcon. For Blue here, he has this cape, which is soft goods PVC. His neck articulation is, yep, just a swivel. His arms are just straight arms. No elbow articulation. He does have hip articulation, but it's standard T-cut, so it's just going to go forward. And it's not even really going back because of his not very sculpted behind. He does seem to have knee articulation, which is nice. But that's as far as it's going. It's barely even 90 degrees. Now, one thing to be said for these sets, each set of 2 figures is like $10. So, they're not terribly expensive. If you are a big fan of the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons the way I am, it's not bad for the price. Blue is coming in right at about... He's just under 6 inches. He's right around there, but he's just under 6. Like, just a hair under 6 inches. So he can go in decently if you've got... if you're like me and you've got the old Space Ghost figure. He'd actually fit in pretty well right next to Space Ghost, which is exactly how I plan on displaying him. For the set, what do I give it? I'm going to be honest with you guys. The articulation's pretty basic, we'll say. However, for the price, it's not bad. This set, I'll call it a 6. It's not fantastic, it's not great, but it's Blue Falcon and Muttley. How can you not love them? And I'm going to be putting our figures over to the side here. Now, we don't have a Build-A-Figure or anything, but I am going to be trying to assemble our boy and his dog teams over here for each boy and his dog, respectively. Speaking of, our next set of a boy and a dog is our main antagonist, Dick Dastardly, and Super Scooby. Now, you all will notice something here. Scooby doesn't come with Shaggy, Dick doesn't come with Muttley, and Blue doesn't come with Dynomutt. That is because in their genius marketing, they said if you want to get each set of a boy and his dog, you need to buy all 4 sets of figures. Yep. That's what they've decided on today. It's greedy, but it's smart. Because I want Dick Dastardly to go along with Muttley. I do. I want the set of them. Because it's Dick Dastardly and Muttley. I'm a big fan of wacky racers. So, yeah, I want that. And Blue Falcon and Dynomutt, I want that too. I don't care at all about the Super Scooby costume. It's not a very long-lived costume. I don't care about the Captain Caveman figure, though, because it kind of looked like garbage. And it just gives me yet another Scooby-Doo figure. So, again, exactly as it says on the tin, Dick Dastardly, Scooby-Doo. It's the clamshell backing, so you can... or card back, rather. So, it's a card with plastic sealed down to it. You're not going to get people stealing the stuff without tearing it open, so that's kind of nice. Again, we've got the same backing that shows all the other 3 sets. Our set of Scoob and the gang, and on the inside it's, yeah, exactly as we said. It's Dick Dastardly and Super Scooby. Okay, so he does have articulated legs. I was actually worried about that, y'all. I figured they cheaped out on me. Okay. So, we established a system before, so we'll go dog first, and then the human figure after. So, we've got Super Scooby, which is a part of the film. His articulation, again, is super duper basic. He's 5 POA. He's got the head, which is on a swivel. He has the front legs, which just... yeah, that is our range of motion here. He's got the back legs, which have that kind of range of motion. The tail... oh, the tail is also articulated, so that's nice. So you can swivel that around. Everything's just going to be a swivel on these. There's not going to be any ball joints or anything. Again, they're very basic figures, but they're fun for what they are. Again, if you're a big Scooby-Doo fan like I am, then you'll probably enjoy them just to have Scooby-Doo in your collection. Scoob is measuring in at about 4¼ inches up to the tallest point of his ears. Of course, if he is standing up, you can get him to take up about 5 inches of real estate at maximum. He's a neat figure, but honestly, I don't think I'm ever going to display this version of Scooby-Doo anywhere. It's weird, though, that his SD collar thing is here, but it's actually an independent piece. If you guys aren't noticing, it's moving around slightly. Very curious as to why. Now, moving on to our man, Rick.
No, I'm not a Rick. I'm a Dick with a D. Rick with a D.
He has the swivel head here. He, of course, has the swivel arms, like so. He can't really put both hands behind himself, but he can keep one hand in front. Now, both he and Blue Falcon do have an open, grasping hand, but nothing to put into those hands. That's a little bit weird. He does have a waist cut, so that's kind of nice. As mentioned before, the lower part of his trench coat is soft goods, just like Blue's cape is. It's just a T-cut for the hips, so you're not going to do anything more than going straight out and straight back. He does have knee joints, but they're only 90-degree knee joints, but it's still something. Although, with the way they cut these, you can also do that, and that just looks, that's painful. You can also kind of rotate it, which is interesting. You don't need to, ever, for anything, but you can. Now, how tall is Dick coming in at? Dick Dastardly is coming in at about 5½ inches tall. So again, he will fit in with some other figure sets. I know I'm probably going to display him with Muttley with some of my greater supervillains, which also completes our first team of a boy and his dog. And honestly, just for completing the two of them, I'm already happy with this, because it's... Of course, if I can get Muttley to actually... He doesn't want to lie down the right way. That's alright. He's still a good boy. Honestly, just for that alone, I'm already really happy with this. I don't care at all about the Super Scooby figure, but I love having Dick Dastardly and Muttley together. And Dick's a fun figure. They gave him a waist cut. I wish that these figures all at least had an elbow cut. Just one. Be super nice, but at $10 a set, you can't really be too upset that you don't have elbow cuts. You don't really see that with figures that are this cheap. But it's neat to have Dick, Dastardly, and Muttley together. I'm not gonna lie, I really like having that set of figures. As a set, it's still gonna be a 6. For my rating. Dick is really neat, and I like some of the decisions they did with him. The Super Scooby costume is great and all, but it's not all that for me. But it's not awful. It's not awful. That takes us to our third and final set from these particular figures. You'll see what I mean in a little bit. Which is Shaggy Rogers and Dynomutt. Again, you see what they did there? To get Dynomutt and Blue Falcon together, you need to get Shaggy. But Blue comes with Muttley. So if you want to get Muttley and Dick Dastardly together, you need to get Super Scooby. It's the closest to have Shaggy and Scooby and all of them together with these 3 sets, but if you want the regular edition Scooby-Doo, you do need to get the Captain Caveman set, which comes with a regular Scooby. See how that works too? Yeah, me too. Anyway, let's get into this figure set. We again have that card back packaging. So you see everything that's on the inside here. You're not hiding any accessories or anything. It's just Shaggy, Dynomutt, our cast of heroes, for the most part, and all of our other sets of figures that are available. We open it up for, again, as it says on the tin, Shaggy and Dynomutt. Which we pop these guys on out. And at least we can complete the remainder of our A Boy and His Dog sets. So, we'll once again go with our pup first. For Dynomutt, he's got the swivel neck, the forward and backward moving legs. Again, everything's just on a standard T for articulation. And I don't believe that his tail is... Oh, his tail is also on a swivel. That's nice. Although I've never noticed until this very moment, his tail is also a rudder. It looks like the back of an airplane. Interesting. Tail fin, that's the word. He's a rudder, because he's apparently also a ship now. And he's measuring in about 4.5 inches. If you try and stretch him out to as tall as he can get to just under 6. Just over 5 3/4, if we're being honest. He's kind of neat and all, but honestly, it's more so to have this. That makes me happy. Seeing Blue and Dynomutt together makes me really happy. Like, more so than it should for a man of my age. And finally, for at least this set of figures, we've got Shaggy Rogers, who's got, again, a standard swivel neck. He's got the swivel shoulders, but at least he can go all the way around with them, at least for the one hand. The other hand, It is sculpted open here so that he can have it just kind of on his hip. He, again, has an open grasping hand. I really do wish that they gave him an elbow, because I've got some Marvel Legends food, like the Deadpool taco. I could easily, if he had an elbow, make it so that it looks like Shaggy Rogers is eating a taco, which is a very Shaggy Rogers thing to do. Norville also has the standard T-cut for the legs, and the 90-degree knees, making him go into quite the cheerleading pose here, without even trying. As for his height, Shaggy is coming in about 5¼ inches tall. He's a little short, especially for being Shaggy, who's, you know, usually really tall. But that's alright. For this set, it's probably the weakest of the three, if I'm being honest. Shaggy's got no soft goods or anything. Dynomutt doesn't really have any extra articulation, nor does Shaggy, to make up for cost between the others. But he's not bad. And of course, you get Shaggy and Scooby together. Who doesn't love it? But it's a 5. It's the weakest of the three. 100%. I'm loving Blue and Dynomutt. And I'm very much going to display them along with my Cartoon Network Space Ghost figure that I've got. Because they're from the same era. Why would I not? My Dick and Muttley might be with them as well, because it's Dick Dastardly and Muttley. Shag and Super Scoob, I don't know if I'm going to display them together. Probably not. Because honestly, I've got a better Scooby-Doo figure, which is going to be opened up right now. That's right, there's extras today. So this is an older figure. I've had this in my collection for some time, but I have never opened it up. It's exactly what it looks like. It's Scooby-Doo with Frankenstein's monster. I bought it, I think it was like $5 for the two. I partially bought it for the Frankenstein. I partially bought it for Scooby-Doo. Now this is, again, from an older set that they did. We can see the other various characters that they had in this set, including Daphne and the Skeleton Man, Velma and Dracula, Scooby and the Phantom Racer, which, of the two, it's the same Scooby-Doo figure, but I wanted Frankenstein's monster instead, and Shaggy and the Wolfman. So, let's get into what we've got here. We've already gone over the other figure sets and what we've got on the back, including our little blurb here about both Scooby and Frankenstein's monster. It's got a box packaging, not a clamshell packaging, not a cardback packaging like the other three sets that we've seen today. But with the window pane front, you're seeing everything that you're getting. Now this does actually have a more interesting backing than these other sets did. It's an old dilapidated mansion, so that's kind of neat. Inside, we have Frankenstein's monster and Scooby-Dooby-Doo. For Frankenstein's monster here, he is not very articulated. He has the shoulder articulation for both arms. I believe he has head articulation. It looks like he does, but he's not wanting to move for me. And I do not want to break this figure, as I can't replace it if I do. And that's it. It seems like he just has the arm articulation. That's all that he's got. Frankie here is coming in at a whopping 5 1/4 inches. So it's quite a Frankenstein's monster for you. It's not a big character, but don't need it to be. It's just a Frankenstein monster. However, what we came here for is Scooby-Doo, who just has, again, a standard swivel neck, a standard swivel set of 4 legs, but he also has elbow joints on his forward legs. He also has the same kind of T-joint for his back legs, and he has the knees here. They don't have a whole lot of range to them, but there's something. And the tail is also articulated. Now, of the two, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I really prefer this Scooby-Doo. He's better articulated, and he's more of the classic look. Now, is he as tall as our Super Scooby? No, not even close. Not even a little bit. But I'll be honest, I like his design better. And he is coming in at about 3 1/2 inches tall. All in all, if you can still get your hand on this set, it's not bad. It's not as big of a Scooby-Doo as the newer one is, but it's a better articulated Scooby-Doo. And I know this particular figure set is pretty much shelf-warming everywhere. You can go to your Walmart, and again, they're like $5, maybe $7 for the two. You get a Frankenstein monster out of it, and you get Scooby-Doo. Is it great? No. Is it worth $7? Yeah. If I'm being honest, it's a 5. Frank has next to no articulation. I don't even know if he can stand with the way his legs are. He can, but he doesn't look great. It's a 5. It's not spectacular by any means, but it's still fun. That takes us to our final unboxing of the day, which is Shaggy, Norville, Shaggy Rogers, and the Wolfman. Let's get into it, shall we? Again, we've got our window pane front, our sides here. They just have the Scooby-Doo logo and tells you what figures you've got, which you can see from the front. Little blurbs about Shaggy and the Wolfman on the back, and the remainder of the figure sets there. I will be honest with you guys, I have been looking for the Velma and the Daphne figures, but could never find them in their individual packs with the monsters. Allegedly, they re-released them in a 2-pack of just Velma and Daphne, but I haven't been able to find that 2-pack either, just to kind of get Scoob and the gang all together. But what about Freddy? Fuck Freddy.
Fred, you're an asshole, and that ascot makes you look gay.
Plus, the only way they released Fred Jones is with the Mystery Machine, which I'm not spending that kind of money on. And that's the set of figures that you get here. We'll start with the Wolfman, who definitely does not have any kind of head articulation, nor legs. He just has the arms. And they are just on a swivel for both arms. You can't even really get this arm above his head. You can, but it takes a little bit of doing. He's pretty much a statue with some movable arms. But you do get a Wolfman figure out of it. And so we can see how tall he is exactly. He's more willing to stay with us that way. About 4 1/2 inches. Just under. But if you're a big fan of Universal Monsters, the way I am, would you look at that? We're a mummy away from having all of our classic Universal Monsters. We've got Frankenstein's monster. We've got the Wolfman. I've got a Dracula figure from back in the day that I can easily put with him, and bam, Universal Monsters. Finally, we've got Shaggy, which, I don't know. Let's get into the articulation first. We've got our rotating neck, our rotating arms. He does have elbows, but they're just 90-degree elbows. They don't have any kind of swivel, so he cannot hold the taco either to eat. The most he can do is kind of put his arms up in terror to run. He's got the same kind of T joints for the legs, but they've got very little articulation to them. That's all the range that you're getting. He does, of course, also have the knees, but these don't even have a swivel to the knee. They're just a standard hinge, and they can go just about 90 degrees. And this Shaggy is measuring in at a far more diminutive 5 inches. I'll be honest with you guys. This was the absolute weakest set of the day. I've had this sitting around for years because I wanted to have Shaggy and Scooby. But I'll be honest. It's not a great set comparatively. Honestly, I think I'm going to probably display the new Shaggy with the old Scooby for our more iconic duo. Because honestly, I like the way that looks. And these two can stay in the back. They can stay in their respective boxes. I'm not going to be displaying either this very short Shaggy nor Super Scooby. And no, they did not release a pup named Scooby-Doo nor a young Shaggy Rogers. A little bit of an oversight if I'm being honest, because those I think would sell like hotcakes. But whatever. For the Shaggy with the Wolfman set, it's a 4.
Oh, unfortunate.
It's a 4. No, it's not. It's a 3. It's a 3. The Wolfman has no articulation to speak of. Shaggy has some weird proportions to him, and I'm not a fan. But at least by getting the previous Scooby and the new Shaggy, I do really like how these two look together. I, of course, love my blue Falcon and Dynomutt. They will, again, go with my classic Hanna-Barbera shelf. Dick Dastardly and Muttley, how could I not love? These two can stay away. And, heck, maybe I'll put that Dracula figure, and I'm sure I've got a small enough Wolfman, or a mummy, to kind of make a classic Universal Monsters shelf type thing. But that completes our unboxing for today. So, thank you all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a rather short unboxing this time. When your figures have next to no articulation and literally no accessories, it goes by a lot faster. And when there's no Build-A-Figure, and there are no big beefy boys. The closest we had was Blue Falcon, and he's not that big nor that beefy. So, if you guys give me just one moment, I will be right back, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we will be back with myself and my amazing, talented, and beautiful editor, Retro Vixen, to give you a movie review for Scoob. We'll be right back.